Hello, and welcome to first and possibly only installment of YouTube Made Me Buy It. And today we are checking out the HIMI MIYA Gouache, the jelly cup gouache set. I've seen so many YouTubers try it and they were all raving about it and they were all loving it, and it's a lot of paint. So I figured for my introduction to gouache it would be a near perfect set to try because I wouldn't be precious with the paints because there's a lot of it and it's very inexpensive. So yeah, for Christmas I asked for this particular set and I have gotten it. And it was kind of pain in the ass to open because those jelly cups are kind of stubborn. But it was a lot of fun to open them and see them in their fresh jelly glory. I have no experience with gouache whatsoever. I do mainly watercolor and sometimes acrylics. So that was an absolutely new medium for me. So I was a little nervous, but excited. For some reason I thought that they would be a lot more opaque than they are. Don't get me wrong, they're pretty opaque, but I thought they would be a little more packed, I guess. Like if you see that green, kind of like turquoisey color is a little transparent, which I can't really complain much about because it is very cheap paint. And I don't know, after seeing people rave about it so much, I guess I just expected more, but overall I did end up liking it. A lot of people were saying that they liked the fresh, kind of like jelly consistency a lot more than dried up and reactivated, but I'm on the opposite spectrum of it. I much more prefer the dried up paints that I would reactivate from my palette for some reason. I don't know why, I just felt like I could control it better like that. I guess I have an unpopular opinion about these paints. But yeah, they blended pretty well together, I thought, and I think the color selection in this set is pretty nice. There are different shades of every color, just about, and they all play together very nicely in my opinion. So this is the first painting that I did right after I gotten it and opened it up, and I was very confused about how to use them because, I enjoy opaque mediums a lot because I can go from dark to light, but also I'm coming from a kind of watercolor background, so it's hard for me to juggle around different things that I learned about different paints. And I have ended up making a few mistakes in this particular painting because I did try to go thicker than I should have in the first painting, especially on the hair, and it's just, I don't know, it was kind of hard to work with at first, but I figured it out later. I really like how the skin turned out in this particular piece. It's not very, saturated, it's not very, there's not much contrast, but I really like the texture that this paint set gave the skin because gouache dries down very, very matte and kind of velvety, I guess, so it brings that softness. And also the fact that they're opaque, that meant that I could layer them on top of each other without really muddying up the colors. Because with watercolors, if you end up putting down a lot of layers, your picture might turn out a little muddy and a little, gray looking because the watercolors are transparent in nature. So every layer that you will put on top of the other ones will show what's underneath it and kind of mix together. So I enjoyed that aspect a lot, and that I could just, turn my brain off basically and just pile paint on top. I also really enjoy how opaque I can make these pastel looking tones by mixing, a little bit of white in it, and I really like it. And I also really like how flat you can make them, which, I mean, you can make just about any paint looking flat and even, but with the gouache I feel like it's a lot easier than with other paints that I use. And right here I'm doing another hair study, I guess, because I was so pissed at the first try, because that hair just looks like a mess. So I started putting a little bit more watercolor approach to it, I guess, and it turned out a lot nicer, in my opinion. So, and then I decided to give it another try with the things that I kind of figured out myself, but I also have watched a video by Arlie Bean. Arlisha made a great video about her gouache tips and how she generally approaches it, and I think she's a great artist, and I think her gouache paintings always look very nice, so I've decided to learn from the masters, I guess. So she recommended start with thinner layers and put in thicker layers on top if you need so. So I have started approaching it with more watercolor techniques, I suppose, and just building it up from there, and that yielded a much more successful result in my opinion. The second painting went a lot smoother than the first one, and I really enjoy how vibrant these paints are, because especially like in this little colored section of the hair, after I put in all the shadows and highlights and stuff, it just looks so vibrant. It looks very, I don't even know how to explain it, kind of like iridescent, I suppose, because I did shift the hue a little bit, and it just looks so shiny, and I really like it. The other thing that I've been enjoying since I have filmed this, because I did explore these paints quite a bit since then, I have been enjoying painting landscapes with them. They're just like, I really like painting like pastel skies and water with them, because I really like these like pastel-y, very tender colors I can make with them, and just like they've been a blast. But yeah, summing up this whole experience, they performed a little different from what I have anticipated from watching all the other people's reviews and stuff, but I do still think that it's a great starter set for anybody who's interested in gouache paintings, because it's a lot of paint, and it's so cute, and comes with a little mixing palette. It's just, I feel like it's a great starter set for anybody who wants to start dabbling in gouache. And yeah, I would definitely recommend it, and you know, I think it was worth it. It was one of the times when, you know, YouTube recommendations were an absolute blast, an absolute win, and I was very happy. I'm very happy that I have this gouache. I kind of want the little jelly pots to dry up a little more, because I do enjoy using reactivated gouache over, you know, fresh gouache for some reason. I don't know why, but it's just my preference, I suppose. That's pretty much it, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, subscribe and leave a like, or don't, I don't really care. And hopefully I will see you next time. Bye!